Welcome, my friends and enemies. Glad you are here. We have another doozy for you, even though it is just myself and Mr. Unbearable Matt.
We were to inform that Sage had a stroke watching the last episode. He's in recovery with EU healthcare.
Which basically means they're going to kill him. So yeah, that's great. He was also ran out of a lot of time of EU internet, so yeah, that's also something wonderful to look forward to. So we thought we would just go ahead and do it so you guys could still have it, and then we could go on our merry way and hopefully forget everything that happens here. So here we are. Are you ready, good sir?
Yeah.
Say, ready, Captain.
I want to do like the Kobayashi Maru Kirk's approach, where I cheat and can avoid the episode but still review at the same time.
Kind of a difficult thing to avoid and also review. Unless your review is play, Amazon screwed up, done.
I don't believe in review. I don't believe in the Rings of Prime scenario.
I don't. I really don't. But yes, we are gonna watch this abomination, and thankfully, it's probably only be about 45 minutes long if you include outtakes and intro, or outro and intro. So let's just get this over with. I really hope we're going to see Tom Bombadil and the Harfoots over and the Stewards and all that abomination over what's going on in Numenor, because Numenor. You remember last week?
Yeah.
I was livid. Like I lost it, and yeah, I don't normally lose it.
But I hate to say this because it's going to sound like I like this show. The show is semi-watchable as long as Numenor and the humans wandering around the mud with the black elf guy, Arador or whatever his name is,
Arondir.
Like, if those aren't in there and Numenor, the show is because at least you can kind of root for Halron. You know what I mean?
I can agree with you to some extent. If we take out the Stewards, the Harfoots, the wizards, Bombadil, if we take out the humans, if we take out the elves, if we take out Numenorians, if we take out the eagles, if we take out the ants, if we take out the trees, if we take out the ents, if we take out all of the beings that are in this show, it would be a great show.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you look at this as Halron being the good guy, right?
Halron? You mean Elrond or Halbrand?
I mean, Halbrand / Sauron. Halron. So if you look at Halron as being the good guy, the show is, and no other scenes happen. Like, we don't see any of the stupid Numenor stuff. We don't see any of the Stewards, Moors, and the Bleefoots and whatever's. We don't.
Moors?
We don't.
Where do the Muslims come into play in this?
we don't see Tom Notbadil.
The Crusades.
No, we don't see Standolf. We don't see Aaron Not Deer, whatever, and his muddy humans running around doing whatever they do. If it's just the Halron and the elf stuff and the dwarf stuff, and you think of Halron as the good guy, you can kind of watch the show.
I mean, do you really not want to watch Isildur get cucked by a woman who's not with him and with another man? They can make a TV drama off that alone. And we all know that the guy's going to die, and then she's going to be single, and then Isildur is going to slide into her DMs.
Yeah.
We all know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
How else is Aragorn going to be born? Jiminy Christmas. Anyway, let's get through this abomination. Greenery.
The second best scene.
Arondir running with his bow.
Already we're off to a bad start.
With trumpets pronouncing his arrival somewhere, and he runs really funny. And he stops to survey the field.
So, elves are in tune with nature and should not have any difficulty running in nature.
Oh. He's running into some orcs. He could easily kill these. Of course, they're the expedition dump.
How does an orc sneak up on an elf? And why isn't he carrying a sword? Even Why is he using kung fu?
I mean, you could say it's stylized martial. Okay, there's no way he put that in his hilt right away. No freaking way. I mean, it's a good thing to kill the orcs. Orcs are evil.
They were elfu fighting.
How did he know to look behind the bracer?
He read the script.
But yeah, he literally just grabs the guy's arm, pulls it up, pulls the thing out of the bracer, and it's like
that should be in the black speech if this were real, like the actual books. And why would he know how to speak the black speech? Sauron would literally have just invented it.
Celebrimbor being cucked by his own rings.
The rat of power. Just find that tree where the Balrog and the and the Silmaril are, and dig all that mithril up.
Okay, now female smith number 1 is a very, I guess, anti-lord.
So smith in the broad sense of the older also includes people who craft like fine jewelry and all that sort of stuff. Like it's not just smith like blacksmith; it's smith like engineer. The Noldor, it's like out of Germanic mythology. The Noldor are smith; they're craftsmen of all things.
He asks her what her name is. You don't remember my name? He's a little confused. He's a little confusticated.
That's it.
I like the little black smudges on her forehead,
Yeah.
but like nowhere on her clothes as any smudges, just on her forehead. I thought the elves' memories were long. Why would you not remember everything? Well, he's also okay. You could cut him some slack for him being focused on stuff.
So they're saying, I think they're indicating that Halron is like using his mind powers to mess with his head.
Why does he have Feanor's hammer out? I still hate Halbrand's or Anatar's million-yard stare where all he does is stare, but he has like nothing. Nothing's there. Like his eyes not moving is really annoying. Can you imagine Celebrimbor saying, "Yeah, yeah"? I mean, you could take a break. In my granny clothes that I haven't changed.
Wait, I am well. Why would he contract in one sense and not in the other? I don't know if you caught that or not. With our mithril.
He's gonna show up and be like, "Give me mithril, or I will pulverize your brains." Oh bother!
Oh God, are we in Numenor again?
No, this is still a Region. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that dwarvish or is that orcish? Isn't that dwarvish?
I can't tell from here.
Well, it had like a B, and I was like, I don't think Mordor script is
I
that
don't.
clean.
It doesn't look like the black speech at all.
What duties do you have if you don't have Mithril? Brusque.
Oh, you look so concerned, Halloran, as if you care about them.
This is so irritating.
Let Uncle Halloran console you. Now, see, little bits like this with the manipulation, it's like, so the one dude who wrote this one little bit probably read the books.
Yeah,
know?
it's also how it's manipulated. It seems a little strange.
Well, Salmon would do all sorts of
Why is
manipulation.
she asking what it said? It's not her place to know.
I think they're indicating she's some sort of elven nobility. I mean, she's an older elf. They're all like,
It doesn't matter if she's nobility or not. It's got to be. Oh, it's probably Adar. Prepare for war.
now,
Yep, that's Adar.
yeah. In the actual lore, Sauron could just mind control orcs at will, since it was designed for that.
Yeah, sounds about right. Strange.
I mean, to be technical, I guess suppose Adar's old enough to do it as well. Galadriel could mind control orcs at will if she really wanted to, too.
I think he's a good actor as Adar. I think he
They're
just has a
probably
trash story.
Yeah, there are probably 5 to 10 actors in the show who elevate the crappy work they've been given, And there's a bunch who are like, probably good actors in other stuff, but like have nothing to work with.
She is so unnerved. It's hard to think she's Galadriel.
I can't think of Galadriel.
Like she gets nervous and she starts like twitching and facial features and stuff.
Though I will say, like last season when it made her look ugly for the entire season, and I guess they heard that complaint. So this season they're not uglifying her as much.
I mean, as much as you can beautify it too, but yeah.
No, she in real life she's a fairly attractive woman, like a 6 or 7.
I'd give her a 2, a 4. It'd be like really generous.
No, I mean she keeps herself in shape. She's has a good feature set. She's just really tiny. She's like 5'4" or something like that.
It's just truth. Oh, okay, that works. Same thing.
But see, they would know that you can't actually kill a Maiar. But hey, forget about that. Again, Sauron invented the black speech when he formed Mordor, so they shouldn't be using it at all. Oh God, here, this is what I saw. This is the Lord Deviants. Nope.
Oh no, Morgoth's crown.
No.
No.
Well, Morgoth's crown, when he was defeated finally at the end of the War of Wrath, was turned into a collar that was put on him as he led to Valinor, and it was taken out when he was removed from the universe through the door of midnight. It went with him into the void.
What? None of this makes sense. I want you to make rings for orcs.
Of course, none of it makes sense. And this is what the point I realized. So, given what they have access to, what they don't have access to a lot of the lore that was explained.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to use Morgoth's rings to make the rings of men.
No, because Celebrimbor is making them right now.
He can't. He has no mithril.
Oh, I guess if this crown or whatever, you know,
they're probably going to say it's a mithril crown.
Halron.
Hadar becoming intelligent.
But no, that's what I was saying.
See, it makes it sound like he doesn't want to attack a Eregion. That's literally why they showed up.
So,
wow, they literally just snapped together.
So, like I was saying, they don't have access to the actual lore to explain any of stuff, so they have to make up their own crap. And the crap that they're making up.
Welcome to Numenor.
Oh God! Please sink it already.
Outlawry. To a loss of life that your men ended. He's not even looking at him. Oh, I hate her so much. Stupid dude.
I hate everyone in this show.
Is this when the faithful branch off and go their own way?
Well, in the lore, that would have happened. Like, that was slowly occurring over time. So for the first, let's say 700, 800 years of Numenor, they were largely unified, right? Then as the extended, and all had extended lifespans, but as they started to die, and the lifespan shortened a bit because they were deviating from the sort of
Renounce. What are they saying? Renounce your crimes. What crimes?
Renounce being loyal to the Valar and friends of the elves.
That's a crime?
Yeah.
They just cucked Elendil.
Oh, they're giving him like one of those like heroes, like self-rebuilding arcs or whatever.
He I can't hear like the crimes of being faithful to Valar.
So what happened is, for some reason, a segment of Numenor's population started to be jealous of the elves who were immortal and thinking there was a secret to immortality that men they didn't, even though they knew that they were told that man had they had life after death, so to speak. There was a mystery, like what happened after them. Over time,
so did he just denounce the Valar? Because they just said the crimes. They didn't say anything about the Valar. They said crimes.
Well,
so what were his crimes?
They said, like last episode, his loyalty to the Valar and to the elves, so to speak, was his crime.
Throw the sea is always right.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So anyway,
Oh, no,
so
you're still going.
around
Sorry.
700 or 800 of the Second Age, that's when the Kingsmen and the Faithful started to split. Coincidentally, that's around Sauron started to be active again in Middle Earth. Just coincidentally, you know.
I'm gonna pause it so you can, because I'm
Then
still trying. I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, do you renounce your crimes? What crime did he commit?
he remained loyal to the Valar and to the Friends of the Elves.
But that's not even implied. It's just says, do you renounce your crimes of existing? Sure, but like saying loyal to the Valar means he's turning his back on the Valar, which means he is not faithful. Because of the two things he should stay faithful to, he's going to stay faithful to the Queen, not the Valar, which is above the Queen. Explain that to me. He should have just said, I do not for both.
I think there's bad writing here. I think they're trying to do something like he's playing a word game type of thing, but it's badly written.
Well, yes, but I'm saying if you're going to turn away from the Valar, then turning away from the Queen should be easier. But he's like,
by definition,
no.
if you turn away from the Valar, you're turning away from the Queen.
Exactly. So that him saying, I do for the crowns, I renounce the crimes I committed, when no crimes were actually pushed. That nobody said you are or you are being accused of being like I think he says outlawry was the only thing. It's like, well, yeah, I renounce all outlawry because I was never an outlaw. That's not a big deal. If that's the only crime, then okay, nothing is changed.
Yeah, this isn't the most well written thing in the universe, you know.
They've never seen a court case apparently, or ever seen a law show that has resembled a court case, because that's not how they go down. Even in medieval, they still like, you have been blah 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 of high treason, of outlawry, blah 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 blah, like all that stuff, right? And you're like, okay, I can rescind that stuff because that didn't happen. It's not real. But then you go to the other part, and you're like, the Valar, what? Okay, whatever.
No. Remember the whole Breath of Life discussion we had before the camera? The secret fire is what the power Eru himself contained, which allows him to breathe the breath of life into things. Only Eru can use the sacred fire.
It's literally Bombadil and not Gandalf. Is basically like they're talking past each other.
Well, because they're just spewing words from the lore that mean nothing.
All right, we're going on an ad, so just ignore.
But anyway, so
everything.
The division between the Kingsmen and the Faithful happened, but the Kingsmen were the minority for the most part for the next 1,000 years. And as the Númenóreans expanded and established their realms in Middle Earth, like Umbar and whatever, those city states and all that, the majority of the Faithful wound up being in those kingdoms, except where the Black Númenóreans, which was Umbar, they got an enclave over there over time, right? So gradually, as the tensions increased on Númenor, the Faithful migrated off of Númenor to the mainland, except for the ones on Númenor concentrated in Andúni, which is where Elendil's father rules over. Okay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like they're not pushing. Like, apparently the Faithful cannot just leave.
Well, no, they could. They did, in fact, in the lore. They went. Most of the Faithful were on the mainland.
I know. I'm saying in this particular situation, the way the story's set up, they can't just up and leave. Like, oh, we're the Faithful, we're out, toodles, and leave without the Kingsmen soldiers and all that jazz coming after them.
In Andúni, Elendil's father Mandel has a huge army. Not that there's a lot of people left on Númenor, but
in this story, his dad doesn't exist.
Well, they just mentioned his dad's name, Amundil.
Okay. Well, they may have mentioned his name, but they didn't mention it where I could understand it as him being alive.
In this story, he doesn't exist. I'm telling you, like in the lore, though. So
yeah. I get the lore. I have no problems with the lore. I'm saying in this show, it doesn't make sense because they're basically saying we're going to create martyrs out of them. We're going to throw them into the sea so the sea monsters will get them. And it's like, but why would a sea monster be this close to Numenor?
They shouldn't be. In the lore, there's
Because
one ocean.
I was understanding that the monsters were deep. They're not like just on the
No,
surface.
it's not that there's one ocean. If you look on the map in the Second Age, there's like one area where there's like a sea full of monsters, and no one goes there for that reason.
Which kind of defeats the purpose of the monsters being there, but okay.
Tolkien, there's a lot of stuff Tolkien wrote in, like there's so much material that he outlined, and he like if he lived 70 more years, we might have had more stuff in there. You know what I mean? But he's like, it's funny when I say it. Everything other than the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, like all the other legendary created, was solely to explain how the Elven languages evolved, and then you start filling in details after that. So
yeah. I'm assuming these are the Roonies.
Oh God! Yep. Whoa! Where'd Nori's hair tree go? She had like a tree growing in her hair for like the first up until last.
Where would we go? Literally anywhere but here.
Is her name Gundam? Jesus.
Tomorrow, there will be partly sunny weather with a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 61 degrees.
Okay.
That tree is it? Well, I would think that tree would be older. Well, whatever. I guess I'm not gonna quibble over it. Oh God.
Well, at least the stores don't leave anyone behind.
Yeah.
Smeal's be a house. They're literally holes in. See, they're trying to get the Hobbit holes, but they're in rock as opposed to holes in the ground. So the Harfoots and the stores are going to bounce together to make a same one. Oh, you just wrote. Where's Poppy? Right there.
But why would they use the word Smeal and speak this other language? So Smeal is a Hobbitish word, but they're not speaking Hobbitish. They're speaking clearly the version.
He got called his name 1 or 2 years ago.
Like, she still has her hair tree. Why doesn't Nori have her hair tree? She has freaking carrots growing in her hair.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the shipping. Somebody slap him. Oh my gosh. Dumb and Dumber right there. What did we just do? Are we doing tonguing or something? You think they picked the actress for Poppy because she's slightly overweight, like Sean Astin was slightly overweight as Sam Gannon or Sam Gannon?
They're probably doing that like a Frodo Sam thing.
Well, yeah. Well, like she's got the normal face, like Elijah Wood had the normal face, and then she's slightly overweight as Poppy, like Sam was slightly overweight. Well, give them what for?
One of the big changes Jackson made in the movie was that he made Frodo the same age as Sam, Merry, and Pippin. Frodo was older than him. He's supposed to be their like mentor that they look up to.
Oh, he's gonna find his Gand.
Oh God.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, you! Screw you! Screw you! Oh, my God! He read that in the Hogwarts paper he got.
So standout story is going to be with this Dark Wizard probably for like 2 seasons or something.
I don't think there's gonna be 2 seasons, but yeah.
Well, we still have to have Halron get to Numenor and cause it to be sunk. Remember?
See, instead of saying "I'll make this quick" and go finds his Gand, his staff, he's like, "But can I come back later?"
Dig. We'll find more sunlights. Dig.
They made it really grainy so you can't see the CGI as well.
Come on, let's delve too deep over there now. Oh, is he looking miserly? Is this going to be his
He's smiling, so I'm assuming miserly.
Is he going to be like a Theod and SB now?
That's not that much gold. Sauron.
This is stupid.
Khazad-dûm. Yes or no? He's gonna say no. Call it. He's like, I did not foresee this happening. He's like an automaton. Do you think crazy concept, crazy idea? Do you think maybe, perhaps, possibly, Sauron's going to try to take control of the Balrog and use the Balrog on the battlefield to take on Adar and everything, but then he'll get chased back into the depths where he'll be sealed again?
Well, the whole this is like way deep into the lore, but in the actual lore, the whole reason Gandalf went, there's a lot of speculation why Gandalf did a lot of things he did. And he wanted to, he went on the thing with Smaug to actually take Smaug off with Sauron to get control of him, and he went to Moria
Before
to
they
take
can
out
make the
Balrog
alliance, yeah.
yeah. So maybe they're drawing from it's called the Quest of Eregion or something in Unfinished Tales, and maybe they're drawing on that sort of with this, but it's just freaking egregious. It's egregious. It's egregious in Eregion, you know.
Well, if that like they're Celebrimbor's Lord of Eregion, and Sauron's the temporary voice of Eregion or whatever. He somehow gets out without the orcs finding him. Okay. But in the process of showing up here, he looks in the fire and he sees something, which kind of implies that maybe he can sense the Balrog or something in the fire. The fire is behaving erratically because of the Balrog, and he's familiar with Balrogs because obviously working with Melkor, he worked with Balrogs. So maybe he's thinking about using that Balrog, while not necessarily being lord over the Balrog, so to speak. Maybe he could make a deal where he would become lord of the Balrog. Who knows?
Well, the Balrogs would obey the real Sauron.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that maybe because some people have argued that the Balrogs would not listen to Sauron because they are on par with him to some extent.
No.
So it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then he'd have to make something. But if there's a Balrog, which we know there's a Balrog in the show because they've shown it literally in the mountains, and if he wants to like take some wrath out on the dwarves, because you can go to the King Dur and say, hey, if we finish these rings, it'll bring peace and prosperity to men, and then you can get tribute from them, you can trade with them, you can build your wealth, blah, 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 blah. That's like, oh, it's a long-term investment. We're making a long-term deposit, the Hobbit and all that jazz. Like, it would make logical sense to that, to be like, yes, I can give you some more to get even greater than that.
Yeah.
But all he's using is these like buzzwords like precious or, whatever else. I'm like, well, if you're building mine shafts,
is they're trying to show that Sauron is a manipulator with all this stuff now. So his plan was foiled or something. So now what I'm guessing
again.
I'm guessing if I had to speculate, Halron is going to cause the Balrog to like be released and cause the dwarves problems, and they're going to need to use Halron because he's from the Valar to counter the Balrog, right?
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But not even that. But he might even use them against Adar.
I don't know that it would go that far because they're not allowed to directly contradict other lore. They're doing anyway.
Adar is against lore.
Well, let me put this
the
way.
orcs attacking Eregion not under Sauron's orders is against lore.
Well, here's the thing: they cannot directly contradict Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit. Like, so the Balrog of Moria must be there in the Third Age, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that he uses the Balrog, but then they chase the Balrog away. He hides back into the deep depths of the Moria.
But then why would the dwarves go digging him up again? That's the logical thing there,
Well, they could have lost knowledge of it, considering how many years pass. And for one, they may not see it go back into the mountains, so they might not know.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I'm sure we'll see a Balrog.
I'm just saying, like, Sauron seems to realize, that's why he kind of smiled at the fire, that there's a Balrog nearby. He seems to have some way to know, because why else would he smile about the problems that's going on?
Yeah.
He wants the 9 built, so this is not an ideal situation.
Sauron in lore, Sauron is a vastly powerful telepath. He would sense he could be at that distance. He would just, there's the Balrog, and be able to communicate with it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that being told no to have more Mithril so he can have his 9 rings for mortal men is not a good thing for him.
Well, I that's what I say. He has a setback,
So-
and now he's going to cause some sort of manipulative plan.
What I'm saying is, when he looked into the fire, and he kind of like side
Well,
smirked, smiled.
I think he was giving the Balrog a signal to do some shit.
And that could be the case.
Yeah.
But it could also be he's going to make a deal, like maybe he's going to walk to where the Balrog is, because he was dismissed from the king's throne. He wasn't dismissed from Khazad-dûm, so he could just wander around, run in there, find him, blah blah blah. And I swear, if this happens the way I'm saying, I'd be so mad. I'd rather see the Balrog just wreck everything than anything else in the show.
Well, I don't think I think it would be too soon for either the Balrog or Adar to die.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying Adar would die.
Then again, this is like the 6th episode.
They would probably show Galadriel be the one to force the Balrog back and try to kill it. It might be wounded or something, and then it retreats back into the mountains.
I mean, the actual lore, she would crush a Balrog.
There's quite a few people who could do that, but it's
who will be left in Middle Earth at this time? Not really, but yeah.
Was Glorfindel around? Or is he not back yet?
Well, that's the question. When did he return from that? Because he died in the first age, and then the
second. But he's also the fastest to return.
He has to be reincarnated, and the first elf to be reincarnated was Galadriel's brother, Finrod. So that might not have happened. They're still saying Finrod is dead in this show. So
how are they going to know he's alive in Valinor?
Well, he could just come back.
I mean, he could. Doesn't mean he wants.
There's nothing that bars him from coming back until Ewu reshapes the world.
Yeah, but nothing in the lore that I can recall has him coming back to Middle Earth.
No, but they would know he's alive. They're well, again, but this show has Valinor being weird dimension or whatever.
Yeah, but how would they know he's alive if he's on the other side, like in a physical location somewhere else?
No, there was regular communications between the Middle Earth and Valinor with the elves. There were elves sailing back and forth all the time before he reshaped the world.
Like the Teleri, you mean, or?
Yeah, well, Círdan, his people. There was regular like trade between the elves in Valinor and the elves in the world, because elves were, and during the Second Age, elves were gradually departing. There were less and less over time, but there was back and forth trade and shipment and stuff like that. The Astari came on ships, regular ships, to Middle Earth. There was.
Yeah, but the way it's implied is that it's a one-way ship, not a two-way.
Well, by the time they did it, was a one-way trip. Like, they can go back, but like it was a special trip. But it wasn't like it was okay. So, but prior to the sinking of Numenor, reshaping the Earth, there was regular, not like massive, like we would trade or whatever, but there were ships going back and forth, transporting some goods, taking the elves who wanted to go to Valinor and stay there. You know,
but even if Finrod was the first one to come back, that doesn't mean that Glorfindel wouldn't be coming back by now, because Glorfindel was the fastest to be resurrected, as far as
no, he was the first one to be resurrected. He might have been okay. The point I'm getting at is
Glorfindel was, from what I remember, is in the lore, is the one who died and was reincarnated in the quickest time period. So he was like, he died, was there for a period of time, a very short period of time, came back to Middle Earth. That's what I recall from Glorfindel. I don't know what age or what year he came back, because I do not recall. I don't remember that ever actually being mentioned.
The only thing I kind of
by the time Fellowship of the Ring came back, Glorfindel's obviously there, because
the only thing I kind of recall is he was there for the War of Elves and Sauron, which is what happened after the war, which is the war that happened with the one when Sauron forged the One Ring and discovered the three.
Yeah, which is supposed to be somewhere around here.
In theory, that would be happening now, but Sauron already knows about the three, so why would he have the War of Elves and Sauron?
Because he wants to take command of them. I don't know.
So again, elves. So even if Glorfindel was there, the elves who would be left, leaving Glorfindel aside, would be Gil-galad, Galadriel, Círdan.
You think Elrond?
No, because he's not. He doesn't have the powers of the Undying Lands. He was born in Middle Earth, and he became fairly powerful, but there's a special presence that the ones who are in Valinor have.
Well,
Like it literally hurts to be around them if you're evil.
it's a useful skill. All right, well, let's continue this on and see how bad we really feel.
Not exactly, but yeah.
Oh gosh.
It's too fast for it to be this addictive. Even the men, at least, well, three of them were Nunorian lords. It took like centuries for them to fall to the ring.
Well, and also, they're dwarves. They're naturally resistant. So it should be easy.
Not so much that it's easy; they're strong-willed. Like the thing about the One Ring and the Link is it gave Sauron a sort of backdoor into their minds to work on them.
That sounds lore breaking.
What?
Superhuman strength, just one backhands him across the
Well,
room.
no, Dwarves is very strong.
Oh my gosh.
Is she gonna have a coup again?
No, they're doing the whole, we're going to stand in front of you so you can't cut our trees down.
Yeah, she's gonna have another coup.
Oh, of course. her black father went to go get milk when she was young. Never came back. Clearly, that's the connotation here.
But that's the subtle racism of white leftists. You know.
The soft bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah.
Are you crying?
I kind of do. Oh God. So here's my prediction. Standoff gets his staff, right? Eventually comes back and frees him from the influence of the ring.
Actually, I think slightly different. So I think they're going to do their coup. They're going to get the dwarves to rise up, and he's going to take the ring off of his father's finger. And it might be humiliation, but then they're going to turn around and say, the elves did this. The elves are the reason that the king's gone mad, and thus that begins this feud between elves and dwarves.
Well,
and it might even be the fact that they give it back to Sauron in like a spiteful manner, but Sauron gets one of the rings back, and then that's how he begins his collection of the dwarven rings again.
Well, yeah. Again, in the lore, he had them all but one. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, if you wanted to tie this back in, that's how you could do it from where we're at currently. So you have Sauron being like, hey, we need more mithril so we can make these rings, blah, 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 blah. And then you have the dwarves being like, well, we had a coup. We overthrew our king, but we found out he was under your mind control or will control. And we broke that control, shoved it in this box, and said, okay, you know what? Take your trash ring, get out of here. And then we're like, your elves aren't welcome anymore. You nail multiple points, like Sauron begins collecting his rings back. He also starts the feud between elves and dwarves because he doesn't ultimately care, and if anything, that's beneficial to him.
Well, but that's already been happening.
No. In the lore, yes,
Yeah.
Not in the show's lore.
Yeah,
the show lore hasn't shown any of this, but it also is aware of obviously Fellowship with the Ring, the elves and the dwarves, how they treat each other, and then they're like, oh, we can make these plot points happen because if you've noticed, they've done literally nothing but set up for plot points in the movies, but in the most arbitrarily bad ways you could possibly do.
Yeah,
we got Tom Bombadil giving the whole Gandalf line from Fellowship of the Ring. It's like, some that live deserve to die, and some that die deserve to live. Can you give it to them? Like, it's like, that's not Tom Bombadil's line. That's Gandalf's line. But Gandalf, you learned this from me, Tom Bombadillo.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but no, you didn't. As far as we know, he never met him, but maybe he knows of him. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he met him, but that's also not something that Bombadil would say.
Well, yeah, they knew who the elves and Gandalf and Saruman, they knew who Bombadil was. Yeah.
Well, but knowing who he was versus going there and
there's evidence that they had talked to him on a regular basis.
Okay, so even if they did, that's not a phrase that Tom Bombadil would use.
Correct. He would sing. He should be singing, not
You imagine? It's like, hi ho, Tom Bombadillo. Some that die deserve to live, and some that live deserve to die. Can you give it to him? Oh ho, Tom Bombadillo. Yeah. That's the dumbest song in the world. It's just like, that's not something he would say.
I just realized they cannot do the full story of the sinking of Numenor because the way they set up Valinor, that you have to go on some sort of magical ride to get there, right? And they suck you off the boats and all that. So what happened in the lore is that Sauron, after mind controlling and making them all worship Melkor and all that, convinced Ar-Pharazôn that the Valar had the secret of immortality and had him build the great armament, which was a giant navy and associated military force, and they sailed all the way to Valinor and invaded it. Okay. So that can't happen in this show the way they set up Valinor.
Oh, that's true. Well, actually, they could, because they could just forget what they did.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
They've already done it once or twice or 1,000 times, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try this again.
How much more of this is there? Oh, God. It's halfway. Not even halfway. Ah!
Well, we got probably 25 minutes left.
Okay. I'll get back to Halloran, which is at least interesting. I don't care. I honestly don't care about anything other than what Halloran's doing.
Uh-oh, they're gonna jump him into the water. I think it's like, let the Valar decide. We'll let them drown. It's like, but drowning wouldn't be the Valar's will. That just is natural. Like you care, you cow.
So, here's my prediction.
They're summoning the sea worms.
So here's my prediction. Okay, Olmo, is going to like save him from the thing. He's going to pass his test, and they're going to like not be able to do anything to him, and then then he's going to become a lord. He's supposed to be a lord already.
She's just a stupid cow. I can't. You lost the family when you betrayed the family. What are you talking about? Betray everything you love and hold dear for me.
Yeah. So He gets saved by the
It's all
Valar.
his pride. It's her pride.
He gets saved by the Valar, and Farazan can't do anything to him now because he passed his test. And then he goes and
Does
rules.
the eagle come and scoop him up?
Well, they'll probably do this with the sea monster bows him or something. I mean, I would say Ulmo, because Ulmo is the one Valar who always helped people out.
So what is she doing now?
Like Ulmo is, I mean, it's
Oh
indirectly
my
indicating,
gosh!
but like the
Our
prophecy.
Farazan's
What?
Our Farazan's turning into Grima Wormtongue.
Mm.
Your voice isn't worth listening to. To her. Oh, is it gonna be Muriel? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, she's cooked. What the? I command it. How he literally has 0 power.
They're putting him on a hero's journey where he's going to get uplifted by the Valar.
He's got a point. He's throwing a pair of balls for the first time. Oh no, they're gonna create the love story. Then wait for me, because I will come back from this. Then I will come for you. Oh,
So the Valar are going to, that's 9%. The Valar are going to save him, and then he's going to be brought back, and Farazan's going to try to co-opt him, be like,
wouldn't she be the first one to say, the Valar will see you just and then call it good?
I think they're saying that she, like, the her is being broken now, so, for no logical reason.
Oh my gosh, they're doing this. Oh my gosh! Ah!
The sea is always right, so there's Ulmo.
Freaking stupid cow.
Hey, is it Halron finally?
No, Khazad-dûm.
Are they delving too deep yet?
They're going to work, and they're going to have Durin there laying their bodies on the ground. Why do they have a battering ram?
Don't know.
Oh, it's Disa.
Even your dog hates this show.
I'd like to see you try.
She pulled out a chakra and goes full Xena on them.
Oh my gosh.
Are they really doing this?
You're so blessed you don't actually have to hear this. It's just... Bats?
Big ones.
Would this not just explicitly just... They're not vampire bats. That would literally just delay them. Oh my gosh. And?
We'll have more bats, though.
I've got more where that's come from. All right, back to Numenor. Summon a sea worm. And they have this little tiny pool there. Like, that's
Release the Kraken.
Crack the Kraken. With what? A crack, obviously.
Good things happen when you drink the Kraken.
Wouldn't the horn be underwater, though? Oh, if he does this, then he could bypass you completely.
That's why I said they're going to have the Valar save him, and that's going to screw Farazan's plans up.
They're going to throw him into a pool. A pool that has a bottom.
Well, there's a monster there or something.
The sea worm is ginormous.
Grana Weepnibon. Grana.
What? We're just getting to the good part. It's crime. There wasn't even a crime. And of course, she's cowarding it out.
Well,
As she speaks.
wow, actually, Quenya when it made sense.
Goodness. Well, she can't survive.
Well, she's supposed to live till the island sinks.
Well, she can't. Because that means the Valar approve of her. Which is against, obviously, our Farazan. Like him, we know the outcome. But her, we don't have the outcome. But here's they're caught in a little catch-22. She has to go because she's a girl boss. But can she die because she's a girl boss? See, she's in this little itty-bitty thing. So does it pop up, eat, and then go back?
Probably. Yeah, it's coming soon. Shai Halud.
Sit out the door. Why would they not put her in the actual sea? Boosh.
Let them fight.
She's been pulled underwater by the Kraken. And of course, it is a Kraken, so that makes total sense. Because they literally said the sea serpent, and then like Kraken. It's like, do I frighten you? It's like, joke's on you. I can't see you. Oh wait, is this where they give her sight back? There goes the Dorito. Vomitus. Okay, that fall alone would have killed her.
Drats my plans.
Drats. Well, this is awkward. We have the king who's blessed by the Valar through the eagle who didn't say anything for some stupid reason. We have the queen who's blessed by the Kraken Valar. What does this mean?
Drats those Valar for foiling my plans.
Curse you and your little dog too. And the Palantir.
Oh God, he shouldn't be able to use it.
Those blasted elves and their magic. I'm gonna go use it.
It doesn't work. Oh.
You were saying about lore breaking? He already did. He went to the dwarves. I like how his armor's like so battered and torn up, and like you tell me the orc smiths couldn't at least come up with something better.
So he's like the oldest living elf. Well, on Middle Earth, I should say.
Well, he's not Quenya. He'd be Sindarin, right?
He'd be before all that. The elves that Melkor took and Sauron turned into the orcs were taken like way early. Like when the elves awoke, he got them. You know.
I hate that she doesn't open her jaw.
In other words, he would have been taken before the elves even went to Valinor.
That's not how this works.
Except, you know, he's a Maiar and can't be killed, but hey.
Well, to be fair, if he gets destroyed where he can't rebuild his body,
he can always do that. Well, he's a goo monster here, so, you know. I guess he can just eat more people. He's a Sauron from another world.
you speak lies. Why is she distraught? I don't understand.
No one understands what's horrible writing.
Region. Let me guess, 10 of them. To be fair, those are pretty spread out.
Well, I mean, Orc had...
Oh, we're gonna see the bonfires just keep going back.
Yeah.
No.
You think? Now she thinks Sauron's a manipulator? Now she decides that?
But she's like brilliant and she's stupid.
You'll fall for Halron's master plan.
I like how they make Adar really, really intelligent, and then all of a sudden he's not. And he doesn't have trolls? I thought he made a deal with the trolls.
And no one notices this?
No one heard the big blast.
Yeah.
You know, when you could have actual like secrecy by just telling people like send commanders to each of them.
Yeah.
Ring the bells, it's Christmas time.
Shut the gates.
He could just literally turn into a bat and fly away, can he? He's also like, shut the gates! And Atar says that, and then it's just him walking calmly. I'm going to cut my hand for reasons unknown. He opens the window. You darn kids, turn down that music. Slams the door.
You damn orcs, you're being loud. Karen Brimbor.
How fares your progress? It's just stippling of the wig. About to throw hands. You still don't have the things to forge them. We still got 5 minutes.
So that went fast, though.
He's using his power to manipulate his mind, so everything's all good and dandy outside. Red-headed elf? What? Because I need you.
Oh, what's love got to do with it? Got to do with it.
I have some in my hand. Unless you screw up. One ear's bigger than the other. That's kind of bothering me. They're really trying to squeeze in Precious as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Your great grandfather had this weapon to forge the weapons of all Middle Earth.
It's hammer time.
It's hammer time.
Can't elf this.
Can't elf this. Can't elf this.
Two Kalimbor to quit. Two Kalimbor to quit.
Halron's coming. Halron's coming.
Oh.
Just like that. Betrayed. I want to see this all burn. Okay. Why would people be running around? Wouldn't they already be home?
No. He that was an illusion.
No. I'm talking about all these people that are running around. They would have already just like beelining at home.
No. He faked Celebrimbor out. Like that's right when the attack was happening.
I know. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what's happening with the siege alarms. People would have already been home. They wouldn't be just flooding the streets, running into each other over and over again.
Well, I think they're the ones coming in the wall. I'm not sure. See, I'm not sure how like the layout of the city or whatever. I'm not 100% sure like where everyone actually was. The way they depicted it.
I don't understand what he's doing.
He's manipulating events to get his rings. Is basically that's what they're.
Yeah, I get that, but this is cutting it a bit close. So he's got something in the water coming out to attack the orcs? Is that what's going on, or no? Okay. I feel like the elves would be able to shoot them from there. I also find it funny that they have like Adar being stupid, like, will your king give us freedom to live as we will, where we want to? So instead he goes and attacks them like, well, you shot any chance or hope of that happening.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue. Kaboosh. Kaboosh. A lot of kabooshes. That's the end of that. Did I call it or did I call it? 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
And the people rejoiced. Yay. Okay.
So it's supposed to be like a big 2-episode battle at the end of all this now.
There's so much stupid.
It's painful. I mean,
we have the stupid cow. All of them, multiples of them. At least 3.
Like I said, the only
Isildur sister, Galadriel, Disa, and then you have the stupid dudes like Adar, King Durin. And it's
the only remotely interesting thing in this whole show is Halron manipulating people, and you get like 25-second scenes of that, and everything else is garbage.
But it's not even necessarily good manipulation.
Well, because the writing is horrible.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, I'd find it much more intriguing if the writing was better, for obvious reasons. Yeah. But it's like,
I'm in agreement. But like when he actually does like the little like the mind rape there or whatever. Okay, that was kind of cool. He manipulated,
I wouldn't classify that as that. I'd call that as deceptive illusion. But yeah.
Well, I mean that's a comic book term. When a telepath just like at will mind rape someone, it just he just goes around doing that.
But I feel like when they do that, they're like absolutely demolishing the person's will.
Well, he did it. That's clearly what he did in that scene to Celebrimbor, and we know he did it to Galadriel.
Well,
we don't know why he did it to either of them.
I'm talking like leaving them a husk of them for themselves. Like they're dead on the inside, essentially. Like living physical regeneration would not be possible.
I think show Galadriel started out dead on the inside.
Dead inside, can't deny. Sorry, my vein kicked down. Sorry. I do not sing a very good Mundane. I apologize for having to suffer that. But yeah, I mean,
there ain't no out here, folks. We've said everything we can say about this shit, and this is probably the.
I think it's smart for Anatar in this particular thing, Sauron, Halbrand, whatever you want to call him, to get the orcs to attack the elves. I think it's smart. It's an intelligent move.
Yeah.
But he's cutting it really close. Like, how long do you think it's going to take to make 9 rings when Celebrimbor hasn't even made the designs?
Well,
of the rings
okay,
yet?
so this is going to be a siege. So this isn't going to be like they just roll over the city. Okay.
Well, apparently the wall's about to come down.
No, because they're going to bomb it, but that's not going to break the walls. You know.
Well, I mean, if they hit the walls with with the trebs, I guess those are catapults, not trebs. If they hit the walls with the catapults, then technically they could.
Not really. I mean, if they pull out what the walls would have made from the actual lore, they have nothing that would penetrate that.
You keep assuming they're using the lore for this.
No, but they might just say, "Well, the walls. We're going to make the walls impenetrable, like Gondor was, like not Gondor, like Minas Tirith is, like
Well, the thing is that the trebs in at the Return of the King, the trebuchets that launch those ginormous boulders and stuff for both sides, the catapults and trebs. If those had hit the walls probably would have taken a hit.
In the books, they were impenetrable.
But
they had to breach the gate.
What sorcery did they use
power to breach
a wall
the gate?
that cannot be broken? I mean, all walls can be broken technically.
No, not the Númenórean constructed walls weren't breakable. The Witch King has.
What you're saying is that the Númenóreans used the Roman architecture to build Roman roads, just standing upright like walls. They couldn't be broken.
I mean, there's a lot of interesting speculation that Tolkien didn't say it directly, but meant that the Númenóreans had concrete. That's what
But concrete can shatter.
Not if it's dense enough.
If you send a big enough rock and one particular point,
if you make like 5,500 PS, like solid, like maybe 10, 20 feet thick concrete, there's nothing medieval that will penetrate that. Nothing.
Repetitive puncture.
There's nothing. It'll just bounce off. It'll just bounce off.
Well, maybe they need to make concrete doors then. That'd be fine.
They actually did. The vulnerable things like Treebeard had to use like a river to overwhelm Orthanc, right? And then to break the doors to Minas Tirith.
To be fair, he could just step over the walls.
They had to send the Grand in, powered by the Witch King, to bust the doors. So
yeah. But if they're not breakable, then it shouldn't matter whether or not the Witch King.
Well, it took exceptional power to break them. Like it wasn't like they just hit it with a thing. The Grand wasn't specifically enchanted to do that, and the Witch King powered it up.
Grand was specifically designed to destroy walls.
The Grand,
like they are usually.
So the original Grand was Melkor's mace, and so the Grand that they used to break the doors of Minas Tirith was made in sort of image and power of Melkor's mace. So when the Grand is smashing against the door, the imagery is as if Melkor's power is smashing the door.
I mean, yeah.
There's a reason Sauron put Mordor where it was. Mount Doom, where he forged all that stuff, it was made with Melkor's power. He was tapping into Melkor's power that Melkor put into that volcano to forge all the armaments and like special stuff there.
Yeah. Well, any final words before we cut this off? Because obviously this was a nightmare.
This was not as bad as the last episode. But then again,
yeah,
the last episode.
I mean, there were plenty of parts in this that made me angry.
One of them. I didn't get angry. I was very like this didn't burn as much as like the third episode was the worst for me so far. That was the one.
Last episode was the worst for me so far.
Like 3, 4, and 5, I see through the whole thing. This episode, I was kind of like maybe because I am feeling a little under the weather. I'm a little tired, but. Even through that, I kept getting like, but it would stop. I get angry at particular parts, but then I try to, it was like it wouldn't. Whereas 3, 4, and 5, I was just angry the whole way through.
I was blood. I was like seeing red. I was angry.
Yeah.
I don't get angry, but it was like an abomination right before my eyes.
Yeah,
and I'm talking more of an abomination than normal.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Or I could just become inured to it. Like I'm gonna like if you get bit by a cobra enough, you become immune to its venom.
I'm just sitting there, bite me, bite me, bite me,
Well,
bite me.
this is some real world lore. There are these people who live somewhere in the Middle East or like Southeast Asia or
Oh,
whatever.
I'm aware. People do
Yeah.
this stuff. I'm just
Like they
saying.
can literally do that with a cobra and it can't even hurt them anymore.
I mean, that's literally just what vaccination is. It's not investing.
Well,
Introducing
there is
small
no
doses into your body for your body to fight it and eventually become immune to it. That's literally all it is.
there is no vaccine we could make that would make you immune to cobra venom. Something happened to these people where they
Unless you keep using cobra venom.
It's like between God and punctuating equilibrium evolution over the past 1,000 years, the ones who survived the cobra bite just became like insanely immune to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you survive it, you have built up an immunity to it to some extent, at least. But anyway, final thoughts, good sir, before we wrap this up.
This is a negative 15 out of 10.
The whole series is a negative 1,000 under 10.
The only remotely entertaining things are the like 10 to 20 second scenes with Halloran is being the hero of the show. That's it.
I don't know. I did enjoy the underwater monster.
Well, I mean,
5 seconds.
There's a lot of good special effects work that the teams are doing.
I'm not even talking the special effects. I just like monsters.
Well, the monster looked good. Like the broad background.
It didn't make sense, but it looked good.
Yeah,
because they're like, it's a kraken, but it's a sea serpent. But I'm like, but sea serpents don't have tentacle thingies. And the pool she was in had a bottom.
Well,
so you can't pull underneath.
Yeah, but that
was my whole point. It's like it didn't make sense.
That big special effects scene was well done, right? Or the backgrounds are well done. You know what I mean? Like when they show the big cityscapes or whatever. That team is earning their money. The writers obviously failed the bucket. Some of the actors try.
Well, I mean, all of them can try. I feel like Adar changed gears. He went from being a cold, calculated, planning and plotting, to just like, I'm an idiot all of a sudden. It's like, but why? Why you do this?
Like we said, there's some decent actors in here who are trying to make some like trying to make, I guess you would say, $4 out of crap.
They're trying to make an effort.
Yeah. And there's a couple of these actors who just aren't even trying; they're just collecting their paycheck, and that's about it.
Well, you notice what happened with Arondir at the beginning? Literally nothing.
Yeah, they could have erased that.
He kills 3 orcs, knows exactly where under the guy's bracers to find this map of some sort, goes and finds the map, looks at it, and then he's gone.
All the
whole episode, he's gone.
Yeah, all the scenes with Nori and the not bits. That could
not bits.
Yeah,
the nutty bits.
All the and Nori, Arondir's scenes. You could have edited all that 5 or 10 minutes out of this episode. Nothing would have changed.
Well, it would have improved it.
Well, no. The only way to edit something improve would be have you just see like the opening black, then you see a landscape flash, and then the closing credits. That would be if you edit down to that.
Not having Tom Bombadil speak blasphemy would be a great thing to do. Like,
just fan edit. Like you have the opening black, the music, then Tom Bombadil dancing to MC Hammer.
Like I don't even want that. That'd be an abomination.
Can't time this, dude. Can't time.
Can't write this.
Two Bombadils.
Can't write this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, we're gonna call it there.
So see us back here. Same horrible time next week. Same horrible show next week.
Same horribleness as always. But I believe you don't have anything coming up here soon, correct, good sir?
I'm gonna see. I might do Summer Roman show at 8:00, which this will be long past. I feel I might. I'll try to do some of it. It's like a random topic show.
Well, if you guys are not already watching Roman of the remind me the actual
Roman the Empire.
The Empire. I always feel like I ruin it every time I try to say it. Roman of the Empire. If you go check out the channel and give them some love, because
next week on Roman show, next Thursday, we are doing one of my all-time favorite movies and one of the greatest anime ever made, called Song of the Sea from Cartoon Saloon.
Interesting. So, guys, check out Roman of the Empire's channel, and maybe you'll find some more people that you like paying attention to and watching and being entertained by. And they are pretty funny. I've seen a few of their works, and I find them entertaining. But you'll even get to see Matt, familiar face. So
Let's see, man.
check him out and
In better
boost
light.
his numbers. Yeah, better light. Boost his numbers a little bit. He just passed, I believe, 500 subscribers last week. Was
Yeah.
it right? Yeah.
Roman's hit 500. We had 500 subs. I just hit 100, and I got like 10 subscribers in the last 3 weeks. So that's big for me. I went from like 100 to 100.
I go like this. Like I'll gain 3, lose 2, lose 1, gain 4.
You need to do more shorter
Yeah.
videos.
I just don't know how. I'm not a short-winded person. It's a curse.
I know it's tough.
I did the Lollipop Chainsaw videos like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, I watched that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping I can't trust developers, even the good ones, because it feels like I'm gonna be like, yes, back these guys, and then they're gonna let me down and turn and pull a freaking Helldivers or a Stellar Blade or something. And I'm just like, but why? And then I'm hearing that the Space Marine 2 director guy who runs Saber Interactive or whatever was like, maybe it wasn't actually the CEO that was saying all this stuff. Maybe it was somebody else. I'm just like, well, who do you believe at this point?
Yeah.
But I have my other problems with Space Marine. I want Space Marine to be good, but they should have made it more like Gears of War. They should have made it less like, I have no idea what in Eru's name they were trying to pull with those controls. They were the worst controls I have ever played with, but I was trying on a keyboard, and it was like there were way too many things. They had combos. I'm like, we don't need no combos. You just need guns that work, weapons that work, and you swing a ding-a-ling. That's how you play games. Like Gears of War is peak third-person shooting, hands down. Like, I'm sorry, 1 through 3 Gears of War, unbeatable by any third-person shooter. There's a lot of third-person shooters I enjoy, but Gears of War was peak third-person shooter.
Let's wrap up. I gotta do what I gotta do.
All right, folks. Thanks for sticking with us. If you made it, you are awesome and appreciated it. If you'd like to like the video, I guess subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share with your friends if you don't mind. If you think they would enjoy the entertainment that we hopefully provide. So,
unlike Wings of Prime, we are too legit to quit.
Why do I do this? Why? I would be so much happier if I did not do YouTube. Oh my gosh. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging out. I don't know. I probably won't have a second video out this week because I just very rarely actually find time to do it. But if I do find time to do one, I'll see if I can. It just depends on what happens. So much happens. There's lots to pick from to what I want to talk about. But usually by the time I can get to it, it's already been talked until someone's ear fell off. So we'll see how that works. But if nothing comes out, you'll see something next week as well. We'll be continuing on this until Rings of Prime is done. And once Rings of Prime is over with, we can go back to our Tolkien videos on the Tolkien Society.
Or other associated topics. Yeah.
Or other associated topics. There's always other topics to talk about. It's just figuring out which ones to go with. So remember, my friends, walk in the light.